Welcome to the world of interactive tutorials of iOS developing. In the Welcome window, tap Create a new Xcode project. Xcode opens a window in which you can choose a template. Tap the Cross-Platform to view templates for developing cross-platform game. Then tap the macOS to view templates for developing applications for macOS. Tap the tvOS label, you can see all templates for developing applications for Apple TV. And tap the watchOS to view all templates for developing applications for iWatch. Tap the iOS to view all templates for developing applications for mobile devices. GameKit provides a starting point for a sprite kit game, like Coco's 2D. Augmented reality templates are new application templates for quickly building and enhancing reality-related applications. The template is also a new application template for creating a document-based application. Master Detail application provides a user interface configured with a navigation controller to display a list of items. Apple has opened up the Messages application to third-party developers through a new feature called Images.xcassets. iOS 10 added a new category of apps with iMessage apps. These run inside the Messages app and can be as simple as a set of stickers. TableBed application provides a starting point for an application that uses a tab bar. PageBot application provides a starting point for a page-based application that uses a page view controller. Choose Single View Application Template. Single View application provides a starting point for an application that uses a single view. And tap Next button to access next step. In the dialog that appears, name your app and choose additional options for your project. The product name is the name of your app. Click and hold to select your Apple ID from the Team drop-down menu. The organization name is used in boilerplate text throughout your project folder. For example, the organization name is used in the source. The identifier you enter are concatenated to create the default bundle ID using reverse domain name service notation. Click and hold to select Swift from the language drop-down menu. Tap to check the Include Unit Test checkbox to create a test target in the generated project. UI Testing Framework is a way to manage your application interface for testing. It allows you to find, interact with, and validate properties and states on interface elements. Tap Next button to access next step. Keep the default folder for saving the project, and tap the Create button to create the project. Xcode opens your new project in a workspace window. Tap the Build and Run button to run your first app in iOS Simulator. The app's working. You see a blank page as the name Empty Application implies. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. Choose Images.xcassets from the Project Navigator area. Right-click or Control-click to display a contextual menu. choose the menu item to import an image. In the dialog that appears, tap to choose one image. Tap the Open button to import the selected image. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. If you double-tapped the file, you'll notice that it opened in a separate window. Let's code step by step to show the imported image on the screen. A UI image object is a high-level way to display image data. You can create images from files, quartz image objects, or raw image data. Tap Next button to enter next screen. UI image view is an image view object that provides a view-based container for displaying either a single image or for animating a series of images. Set the frame rectangle, which describes the image view's location and size in its superview's coordinate system. Add UI image view to the root view of the current screen. Then tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. The project uses Images.xcassets to organize the images. Tap the plus button to show the pop-up menu. Choose New Folder from menu to create a new folder. Then choose the folder. Tap on the name of folder to rename it. Enter the folder. Press Return to commit the change. Tap the plus button to show the pop-up menu again. Choose Import from menu to import images. In the dialog that appears, choose All Images. Then tap Open button to import all selected images. Press Drag Images into Images folder. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. Let's code step by step to show one image on the screen. A UI image object is a high-level way to display image data. You can create images from files, quartz image objects, or raw image data. UI image view is an image view object that provides a view-based container for displaying either a single image or for animating a series of images. Add UI image view to the root view of the current screen. Then tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. Sets the name that the application displays on the device appearing underneath your app icon. Bundle Identifier is a bundle ID that uniquely identifies an application in iOS. This means that no two apps can have the same bundle identifier. Version is the public version. That is, when you submit your app and people view it on the App Store, this is what they will see. Build is the private version. That is, it can be used internally to identify beta or other pre-release builds. Then tap the drop-down arrow here to open a list of developer accounts. Select a developer account. Then tap the arrow here to open the preset target version list. Deployment target is the earliest iOS version on which your app can run. As newer Xcode versions come along, support for older target values will be removed. You can choose the types of devices you support from the Devices pop-up menu. Choose an option from the preset menu. Click and hold to select Main Storyboard from the Main Interface drop-down menu. If a Main Storyboard is declared, then when your app launches, iOS will load the Main Storyboard and instantiates its initial view controller. Tap the vertical scroll bar on the right to see the options below. One of the features that modern mobile devices support is the ability to detect the current orientation, portrait or landscape, of the device. An app can take advantage of this ability to readjust the screen to maximize the use of the new orientation. Status bar is important for both users and developers. That why status bar styling is vital. Choose between light i.e. light text or default i.e. dark text. Check the box here to hide the status bar at the top of the screen. Check the checkbox here again to restore the visibility of the status bar. Then tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. This tutorial will interact with iOS Simulator to emulate device rotation. Okay, here we go. And an ACE Notification Center object, or simply Notification Center, provides a mechanism for broadcasting information within a program. Receiving a notification takes very little code. Here create a method named orientation changed to receive the notification. The UI device class provides a singleton instance representing the current device. From this instance you can obtain information about the device. Get the physical orientation of the device. The value of the orientation property is a constant that indicates the current orientation of the device. The device is in portrait mode, with the device held upright and the home button at the bottom. The device is in portrait mode but upside down, with the device held upright and the home button at the top. The device is in landscape mode, with the device held upright and the home button on the right side. The device is in landscape mode, with the device held upright and the home button on the left side. The device is held parallel to the ground with the screen facing upwards. The device is held parallel to the ground with the screen facing downwards. Zoom count means the orientation of the device cannot be determined. Then tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. Choose Hardware Rotate Left to rotate the simulator. Choose Rotate Left, and notice the output on console panel. Choose Hardware Rotate Left to rotate the simulator. Choose Hardware Rotate Left to rotate the simulator. Choose Hardware Rotate Left to rotate the simulator. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. This is a simple project having one image. Simulator allows you to rapidly prototype and test builds of your app during the development process. Tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. You can access your alerts and banners notifications from any screen, including the lock screen. Just swipe down from the top of the screen. By default, your notifications will show you the Today view, which gives you a summary of what you need to know for the day and a glance at tomorrow. To access Control Center, swipe up from the bottom of the screen. Control Center gives you quick access to commonly used settings and apps from anywhere in iOS, including the lock screen. When Simulator is running, choose Hardware Home to reveal the home screen. From the home screen, you have access to all of the apps that are installed in the simulation environment. Slide from left to right to switch the screen. To get to the first page, where all of the pre-installed apps are found, swipe to the first home screen by dragging to the right on the simulator screen. Choose Simulator Reset Content and Settings to reset your simulator. When testing your app from Xcode, in the iOS simulator you can select Reset Content and Settings so that the app can start with a clean slate. Tap Reset button to move all installed applications, content, and settings to the trash. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. This tutorial explains how to get the screens from the simulator. Let's do it. Choose File New Screenshot. Tap the shortcuts to switch to desktop. The screen's hot picture is on the desktop. Tap the shortcuts back to Xcode. You can turn on, off the iPhone ringer by tapping the button here. Tap the button here to increase the volume of the iPhone. Tap the button here to decrease the volume of the iPhone. Then tap the button here to lock the iPhone. And you can tap the home button to open. Choose hardware device iOS 12 iPhone XS Max. You can switch between different device OS combinations. Installed as part of the Xcode tools. Simulator runs on your Mac and behaves like a standard Mac app while simulating an iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, or Apple TV environment. Simulator provides the ability to simulate many different combinations of device type and OS version. You can also add simulators for a specific combination you want to test. Choose iPhone 8. The simulator wheel closes the active device window and opens a new window with the selected device. Choose window physical size to zoom out the simulator. Choose hardware device 12.0 iPad Pro. You can also add simulators for a specific combination you want to test. However, not all device type and OS version combinations are available. To test apps for the iPad Pro, use a simulated iPad with the same pixel resolution as the iPad Pro. Choose window physical size to zoom out the simulator. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap to open App Delegate Swift in the main project window. App Delegate Swift defines a class that manages the application overall. The App Delegate is the heart of your custom code. This object works in tandem with the UI application object to handle app initialization, state transitions. Did finish launching with options method is used to initialize the application and prepare it to run. Application will resign active method lets you know that your app is transitioning away from being the foreground app. Use this method to put your app into a quiescent state. Application did enter. Background method is called when the user quits an app that supports background execution. Application will. Foreground method is called as part of the transition from the background to the active state. Application did become active. A method is called to let your app know that it moved from the inactive to active state. Application will terminate method lets your app know that it is about to be terminated and purged from memory entirely. Tap the button to run your app. Choose the hardware menu. Choose the home menu item. The simulator will go back to home page. Please keep one eye on the console panel. Tap the app icon. Active app again. It is possible to lock the screen in Xcode Simulator. For this, do the following. Go to Hardware menu and select the lock option, Command L. Choosing lock locks the simulator, which then displays the lock screen. Tap the Home button to unlock your simulator. Double-clicking the Home button, Command Shift-H will reveal all running apps in the multitasking manager. Swipe your finger to remove the app from memory. Tap the screen to complete the removing. Tap the stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. You will take a few moments to familiarize yourself with Xcode workspace from this tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. In the Project Navigator area, you can add, delete, group, and otherwise manage files in your project or choose a file to view or edit its contents in the Editor area. Select App Delegate Swift. Xcode will open the file in the main editor area of the window. Alternatively, double-click the App Delegate Swift to open it in a separate window. The UIView controller class provides the infrastructure for managing the views of your iOS apps. A storyboard is a visual representation of the user interface of an iOS app, showing screens of content and the connections between those screens. The project uses Assets.xcassets to organize the images. New projects created using the app templates in Xcode automatically get a launch screen storyboard file. Every app and plugin uses an info.plist file to store configuration data in a place where the system can easily access it. Unit testing is a method by which units of source code are tested to determine if they are fit for use. The unit is the smallest testable part of an application. The UI testing tool of Xcode would enable us to replace our current JavaScript and picture-based tests with ones written in Swift. In the Products group in Xcode, there will be the final IPA file for uploading to App Store. Git is a distributed version control system, and it is built right into Xcode. Tap the icon to show the Symbol Navigator. In Symbol Navigator, you can browse all the symbols in your project or just those within a scope that you specify. Classes listed on the panel. Tap the arrow to see all methods in the class. Tap the method name to show the detail. The Search Navigator uses find options and filters to quickly find any string within your projects and frameworks. Here you can quickly find class files with keywords. Press the return key to search, and tap the result to show the detail. The Issue Navigator displays issues such as diagnostics, warnings, and errors found when opening, analyzing, and building your project. In the Test Navigator area, you can create, manage, and run unit tests, and also review their status. The Debug Navigator examines the running and associated stack information at a specified point or time during program execution. The Debug Navigator displays the context of your paused app. With this navigator you can debug Swift or C-based code. Let's activate the simulator. With debug gauges, you can see how your app is consuming CPU power, memory, and other resources as it runs. You can use the memory gauge in Xcode to identify when a possible leak occurs and then use the memory graph debugger to identify it. As you test your app, Monitor its activity here carefully and look for areas where you may be able to reduce I/O activity. Xcode also provides an overview of active network connections running in your application without using instruments. Breakpoint Navigator fine-tunes breakpoints by specifying characteristics such as a triggering condition, an ignore count, and an action to be performed. Log Navigator views the history of your build, run, debug, and source control tasks and inspect details of the results. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. In the Project Navigator, select the destination project or group for the item you want to add. Right-click or Control-click to display a contextual menu. Choose Add Files to Demo App. Select the file or folder to add. Tap the Open button to import the selected image. Tap the plus button to show the pop-up menu. Choose New Group from menu to create a group. You can arrange files into groups that make sense to you instead of following the layout of the project directory. Enter a name for the group. Press Return to commit the change. After you create a group, drag your chosen files into it. You can also drag the group to a new location in the Project Navigator. Tap the Recent Filter button to show the recently modified files. Tap again to cancel the filter. Tap the SCM filter button to show files with source control status. Tap again to cancel the filter. Use the filter field to show items that match the text you enter. Tap again to cancel the filter and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main project window. The Assistant button splits the Xcode editor in two, with your primary work document on the left and an Intelligent Assistant editor pane to the right. The Assistant editor automatically displays files that Xcode determines are most helpful to you based on the work you are performing in the primary editor. Choose Assistant Editors on bottom. Open the Assistant pop-up menu. Choose all editors stacked horizontally. The Version button shows the differences between the selected file in one pane and another version of that same file in a second pane. Changes can be discarded by clicking on the number in the center column. Choose Discard Change to cancel the change. Tap Discard to cancel the change. This operation cannot be undone. Open the Version pop-up menu. Let's switch to the Blame view. Tap on the Blame view icon on the list. Actually, Blame view is the best way to see all the commits from different revisions related to a specific file, merged together in one place. Choose Log from the list. Show Standard Editor button fills a single editor pane with the contents of the selected file. You can use the View selector in the main window toolbar to hide or show the Navigator, Debug, and Utilities areas. Expand the Utility area by clicking the Utilities buttons in the Xcode toolbar. When the code in the editor is long, the code automatically moves to the next line, such as the code on row 19. The code on row 19 is forced to appear on the same row. Finally, tap on the checkbox here to restore the option. This tutorial will show you how to customize the appearance of source code and console text by changing their colors and fonts in Fonts and Colors Preferences. For example, you could display your code comments in purple in the source editor. First, tap to open App Delegate Swift in the main editor area of the window. With Xcode open, choose Xcode Preferences and tap Fonts and Colors. Tap Fonts and Colors to view themes. Select a theme in the left column. A theme includes preset colors and fonts for all the syntax categories. Xcode includes a set of standard themes, such as default, that you can modify or delete. Select a theme in the left column. It is recommended to select a style with a lower contrast ratio, which can effectively reduce the visual fatigue caused by working for a long time. Tap the Close button to complete the customization. This tutorial will show you how to use behavior preferences settings to actively monitor and respond to common events and conditions. With Xcode open, choose Xcode Preferences. A behavior preference pairs an event with a set of actions to perform in response to that event. To view the action settings for an event, select that event in the list on the left. A check mark before an event name indicates that at least one action is set for that event. Beyond providing visual and audible notification, these preference settings allow you to specify how Xcode responds to different types of events and conditions. For example, if a running starts, you can have Xcode automatically speak announcement. Choose a provided sound or choose sound and specify sound file to play. Keep the default other option settings, then tap the Close button to close the panel. Tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator.
Run started.
For your convenience, Xcode played the sound when Simulator started. This tutorial is a simple but powerful tip. If you're not using Xcode open quickly, this tutorial should help you dramatically improve your efficiency when navigating code. Choose File Open Quickly. The Open Quickly is often much quicker than searching through the project navigator to find a file. Once you have the Open Quickly dialog open, you may use it to search and open files or symbols. Press it to filter files. As you type, a series of matches will be shown. Open quickly provides a list of matching files and symbols. Enter App Delegate here. What you were looking for was the first entry. From there, you simply double tap or hit Enter to view the class signature. The Open quickly provides a shortcut to open a file in your project via Shift, Command O and entering a file name. Enter. View here to search. The search uses a fuzzy match. This means you can search for files and symbols even if you only remember a few of its characters. Double tap or hit Enter to view the file. This tutorial will show you how to use refactor to rename methods, classes, etc., and have those changes applied across your entire codebase. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. Tap to focus one variable which need renamed. Choose Editor Refactor Rename. You can refactor your code to improve its structure, readability, and maintainability without changing its behavior. The safest way to rename variables or files is to refactor the name using Xcode refactor command. Think of it as a smart, semantic, find and replace. Tap on the right side of the variable name to set the position of cursor. Then tap the key on the keyboard to edit the name. Tap the key again to edit the name. Tap the last key to finish the rename. Finally, tap the Rename button here to complete the rename operation. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. Now start coding to load and display a picture. First, you load a picture of the specified name from the project. Then create an image view to display the picture. And slide to select 3 lines. Choose Edit Refactor Extract method. Extract gives you the ability to extract a piece of selected code into a new method or function. It will try and smartly determine what parameters and return values to give the new method based on surrounding code. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. You can change instances of a text string in a single file by choosing Find, and Replace. Choose Find, and Replace to show the search bar. The bar contains the Find string field, a pop-up to switch between Find and Replace, and a Done button to close the bar. Type the search string into the Find field. As you type in the search string, Xcode will search the file for any matching strings. The item containing the string is highlighted. In the input box below, enter the new string. Use the Replace button to replace the currently selected string with string in the replacement field. Use the All button to replace all occurrences of the found string with the string in the replacement field. Tap the Done button in the Find bar to close the bar. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. This tutorial explains how to use code completion in Xcode. A UI image object is a high-level way to display image data. UI image view is an image view object that provides a view-based container for displaying either a single image or for animating a series of images. Choose Editor Show Completions, or press F5 or Option Esc. Xcode pop-ups a matching list of possible matches. If you choose an entry from this list, Xcode takes care of the rest. If I continue to type characters, Xcode will further narrow the available matches, assuming there is more than one. Enter the variable. Choose Editor Edit All in Scope. Xcode offers a handy way to highlight and edit all references to a variable within the current scope. Tap left side of a variable name to keep the cursor left to the variable. A drop-down arrow appears to the left of the variable, and Xcode highlights all references to the variable name. At this point you can edit the variable name and all changes will cascade through each variable reference. Use the shortcuts to select the character V. Then change V to V. Tap right side of the variable name to keep the cursor right to the variable. Choose Editor Structure Toggle Comments. Select the Toggle Comments option, which can comment the selected code or restore the annotated code. Xcode selects the text surrounding the insertion point, including the nearest set of enclosing delimiters. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. Tap anywhere in the ViewDidLoad method lock. Choose Editor Code Folding Fold. Code folding lets you collapse fold code blocks, reducing them to a single visible line. In this way, you can hide the details that, at the moment, seem unimportant. Code folding hides implementation details, providing a high-level overview of a piece of code. Choose Editor Code Folding Fold methods and functions. Choose Fold methods and functions to fold all methods and functions. Choose Editor Code Folding Unfold Fold methods and functions. Choose Unfold methods and functions to unfold all methods and functions. This tutorial will show you syntax coloring. Syntax coloring uses different colors for various elements of your code, such as keywords or comments. This coloring gives you visual cues about the structure and state of your code. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. Choose Editor Syntax Coloring C. The latest version of Xcode has much improved syntax coloring and formatting. Set syntax coloring for a custom C variation. Choose Editor Syntax Coloring Java. Choose Editor Syntax Coloring Swift. Choose Editor Show Invisibles. Choose Show Invisibles. You can see where tabs and spaces are embedded within the code. Choose Editor Hide Invisibles. Choose Hide Invisibles to toggle showing tabs and spaces. Then use the shortcuts to comment out the code on row 18. Choose Editor Show Last Change for line. The feature lets you see who changed a line of code without having to switch to the version editor. The popover tells you who made the last change to the line, when they made the change, the commit where they made the change, and the commit message. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open the basic project. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. This tutorial explains how to output logs in Xcode. Starting in Swift 2, println is no longer used. Print automatically adds a new line character. Debug print writes the textual representations of items most suitable for debugging, separated by separator and terminated by terminator, into the standard output. CFShow is an SLOG for core foundation types. Define a constant position. Dump is a function from the Swift standard library. It just dumps a collection passed to it to standard output. Define a constant str. You can join strings easily by plus. There's an even simpler way to include values in strings. Write the value in parentheses, and write a backslash before the parentheses. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and view the message on the Xcode console panel. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. Tap at the place of line number to add a breakpoint. Tap the icon here to enter the breakpoint navigator. Then tap on the right arrow here to see all the breakpoints in the project. Tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. The application will pause at the breakpoint. Step over executes the current statement and then stops at the next statement. If the current statement is a function, then the debugger executes the whole function. step into executes the current statement and then stops at the next statement. If the current statement is a function or script call, then the debugger steps into that function or script. Tap the step over icon. The application will step to next line. When debugging, you may need to check the value of a constant or variable, named image view for example. Type image view to inspect the value of the constant image view. Print object is an LLDB command to output the information of an object. You see the detail of image view in the console panel. Use the Step Out button to steps out of the current function and up one level if the function is nested. Tap the Continue button to continue execution of all suspended threads. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. On iOS, there's a small spinner in the system status bar that is visible when the current app is performing network activity. iPhone developers should use the little network activity indicator in the iPhone's status bar to inform the user when their app accesses the network. The indicator is conveniently located next to the cellular signal strength and Wi-Fi strength indicators. Showing or hiding the indicator is simple. Most people probably call this method from their view controllers. This indicator in the system's status bar is important for an application that uses the network. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. This tutorial explains how to set the application icon in an iPhone app. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. Scroll the panel to locate app icons and launch images. Tap the right arrow to enter app icon panel. Use the shortcuts to open the Finder window. Drag-drop the icons on the available control separately for iPhone and iPad, Retina and non-Retina. Drag-drop the icons on the other available controls. Tap the Close button here to return to the Xcode interface. Tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. Tap the Home button to enter the home page. The app has a new icon now. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial. In the Welcome window, double-tap the project name to open it. Tap to open View Controller Swift in the main editor area of the window. This tutorial explains information property list. Every app and plugin uses an info list file to store configuration data in a place where the system can easily access it. Main returns the bundle object that corresponds to the directory where the current application executable is located. Bundle identifier is the receiver's bundle identifier. The bundle identifier is defined by the CF bundle identifier key in the bundle's information property list. Info dictionary is a dictionary constructed from the bundle's info list file that contains information about the receiver. The object for info dictionary key returns the value associated with the specified key in the receiver's information property list. CF bundle name identifies the short name of the bundle. CF bundle short string specifies the release version number of the bundle, which identifies a released iteration of the app. Print the identifier to the console. Print the bundle ID to the console. Print the version to the console. Print the info to the console, and then tap the Build and Run button to run your app in iOS Simulator. Tap outside of the simulator to view the logs in Console panel. Press and drag upward to resize the console panel. Use the Hide the Variables View button to hide the variable view. Tap the Stop button to terminate the simulator and finish the tutorial.